What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. We are playing some Dragonheir Silent Gods. This is a sponsored video, so huge shout out to Dragonheir for sponsoring the video. You can download the game using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment. There's also a promo code for you all to enter as well, so be sure to use it while it is still active. The game is available on Windows as well as Mac. You can get it on Epic and Steam players as well as iOS and Android mobile platforms. So the game is available pretty much to everyone. So be sure to check it out. In this video, we're going to be talking about Aura Champs. The Aura Champs are one of the new champs, damage types for season 3. But before we look at those champs, let's just talk about all the new stuff that's in season 3, or just the bulk of it. First, I'll start with the event that we actually have going on now, which is the Easter egg celebration. This is a new event. You have an opportunity to get some awesome rewards. There's some Heliolite in there, some worm arrows, some gold as well, some scrolls, things like that. So some good goodies. We've also got new damage types, as I was saying before. So in addition to the Aura champs, we also have Shadow champs. We also have Corrosion champs now, which I believe are going to get a bit of a rework. We also have new exclusive artifacts and a few new artifacts, as well as a ton of new gear sets, which they're all pretty awesome. I'm a fan of the gear for season 3. We have 31 new champions into the game as well, and you'll have an exclusive opportunity to summon those champions from the 4 faring summons. We've got a new sandbox, the Sea of the Dead, which is another underwater sandbox, very similar to the bottom of the Misty Sea that we got in season 2 when they also brought in Aetherkarn. So a ton of new stuff coming into the game, new dungeon mechanics, some changes here and there. But let's go and talk about these Aura champs, right? So the Aura champs are Radiance champs, and they are enemy max HP champs, right? So target max HP for your damage is expected to do a good bit of damage. Now this guy isn't. This guy 100% is. You would think this is going to do a ton of damage, so we're gonna check it out today and see just how much they can do. But they operate similarly to the Shadow champs, right, where they have aura energy. They have to accrue a certain amount of aura energy in order to use their ultimate abilities, right, which is awesome. It's a new mechanic, right? We have someone who is running off a different ultimate energy. These guys are also all boosting one another's aura energy, so I really like the idea of being able to get around to your ultimate faster, being able to get around to your battle skills faster. They also have this blaze state that consumes aura energy and enhances skill effects, so enables them to do more damage, allows them to gain more aura energy, what have you. But these champions are pretty cool. How do they stack up to the other new champions in the game? We all know that Corrosion is kind of crazy broken, especially if you have Rook. If you were able to get Rook, he's probably going to get some reworks, but I feel like Corrosion is still probably gonna be the top damage that you can do for season 3 on the Vortex. Even after the changes, Corrosion is still gonna be pretty strong. Without Rook, probably not as strong at all, because obviously he is completely broken. But Shadow champs, how do Aura stack up to Shadow champs? It's not the same damage. We know that this guy Ozul is doing some ridiculous damage. Espalter doing some ridiculous damage as well in general content. So any of the wave based content, Goblin Lair, any dungeons, anything where there are multiple enemies, she really shines. So Aura, I would say, is a safe third. I don't think anybody will argue about that. Aura champs just aren't as good as the other 2 new champs, and even damage that we were able to get out of Ice Blast champs from season 2. I don't think Aura is going to be stronger than Ice Blast either. Even some wild teams are still going to do more damage than the Aura champs, just based on what I've seen so far. So we're going to take these Aura champs in, and we're going to see just how much damage they can actually do. Is it better or is it worse? I do like the fact that most of them have a increased attack or increased crit damage, you know, type of aura, which is pretty good. This one has attack in all battles. This one has, you know, attack by 45% in City of Trial battles. And, you know, this one has the crit damage aura and 45%, which is actually really strong on this character. I'm on Leda because she doesn't need, you know, crit rate. So the more crit damage and attack you can give her, the better. So she's actually pretty strong. I just feel like she is held back a bit by there's a max HP cap, I believe. So, you know, there's going to be a limit for how much damage they can do, right? There is definitely a ceiling, but a pretty good kit nonetheless. And she actually does some respectable damage. Now, she is not ranged. She is actually melee, I believe, which is not very different from, you know, Beldel, also kind of melee, right? These champs, I think Gerthen is similar, right? So not really ranged, which, you know, in some situations not going to be the best situation to use these champions. But we can briefly talk about their kit, right? So they all have a decent aura, even epics. This epic is really strong as well, gonna do similar damage to some of the Legos, so very usable epic. But let's just talk briefly about like the Legos kit, right? So Diantha, the first one, and they have this blaze state, as I said earlier. Enters the blaze state within possession of 100 aura energy. They all, you know, do that, right? She's going to grant 10 aura energy to all aura allies on her battle skill. While in the blaze state, consumes 5 aura energy to deal additional target max HP radiant damage, only 5%. And then on the ultimate, she is going to deal 400% attack, 8% target max HP damage, no more than 800% of the hero's attack to enemies within range, with a 75% chance of inflicting full bloom, which increases damage taken from aura heroes by 20%. So this is huge. You kind of need her as an enabler for your other DPS, because I'm not sure if any of these other aura epics can give you the full bloom. So to get the most out of them, you kind of need that full bloom for sure. So you need her to be going first. You need her to be putting up, you know, full bloom, granting you aura energy so that you can, you know, deal more damage. You can enter your blaze state as well, and you ultimately do more damage. So she is an enabler. Linkos also not a primary damage dealer. So we can briefly look at his kit. Passive is the same. He gains 50 aura energy as the battle starts though, so he's gonna have a decent amount of aura energy. He gains 15 aura energy on his battle skill, then strikes 3 times. While in the blaze state, consumes 5 aura energy to deal additional target max HP damage, no more than 100% of the hero's attack. So we have a cap there. And his ultimate ability deals 400% attack radiant damage to all enemies, grants 35 aura energy to the aura ally with the highest attack in the meantime. So he's gonna, you know, be kind of enabling as well. I'm not sure if he can place this on himself. If in the blaze state summons an accompanist to follow the aura ally with the highest attack, while if not in the blaze state, gains 35 aura energy. And then we have this accompanist. When the ally followed by the accompanist launches a basic attack, consumes 15 aura energy to enable the accompanist to perform a coordinated attack on all enemies around the current target, dealing 7% of the target's max HP, no more than 350% of the hero's attack. So a cap on that damage as well. So he can enable the primary damage dealer, which is going to be, you know, if you have the Lego Amon Leda. She's also exclusive. She has an exclusive artifact. She has a pretty solid kit, I must say. And I wish, you know, the damage wasn't capped how it is, because we could probably see some crazy damage out of the champ. But you know, in certain situations, like, yeah, this champ does enough damage, right? Everybody wants to do things fast. I think that these champs can do things, you know, fast enough. Is it going to be better than what you have already? Likely not. By the time you get to season 3, you probably have a good footing of what the damage dealers are on, you know, your account, which you've pulled through the first 2 seasons. And so if you pull her, I don't know that she's going to replace, you know, Ice Blast champs that you get. Even if you have like Psydic or, you know, Girthin, you don't, even if you don't have Beldel, these guys still might not, you know, necessarily replace those champions, right? So if we just look at this kit, enters the blaze state when in possession of 100 aura energy, of course, increasing damage by 30% when in the blaze state. This hero's attack guarantees crit hit, so we don't need any crit rate at all. As you can see, built with pure crit damage right now. On the battle skill, gains 15 aura energy, deals 380% attack radiant damage to enemies within range, centered on the current target, and gains 10% target's max HP shield for 5 seconds. In the meantime, each enemy hit by this skill grants an additional 20% shield strength, while in the blaze state consumes 5 aura energy to additional to deal additional 6% target max HP, no more than 200%, right? So this is on the battle skill, which is not bad. On the ultimate ability, deals 500% attack radiant damage to enemies within range, consumes 20 aura energy to strike enemies within range 2 additional times while in the blaze state, with each strike dealing 10% of the target's max HP. And obviously it is capped here, 500% of the hero's attack, which is actually a good bit. Gains 30 aura energy if not in the blaze state. And all of this, you know, you don't need crit rate is huge for a DPS champion. You pretty much just want to like keep these champs in the blaze state as much as possible. So we're gonna go take a look at you know, just how they fare. I have a team put together already, so let's go to, you know, the main place people, you know, farm for the most part is gonna be Goblin. You're gonna be doing a lot of Goblin. I'm not exactly sure how this team is gonna do in Goblin. I might not even do the entire run. I may just see, you know, how fast they clear a couple of waves. So let's actually switch to, here we go. We have a team here, and this team is just put together to pretty much clear a few dungeons. I just wanted to see what the damage was like. It's not a team to like speed run Goblin. I'm not even sure if they can speed run Goblin at all. Let me turn off the timing that I have for it, and I'm just gonna let it run. Hopefully, you know, these DPS go in the order that I need them to. So as you can see up here, we have, they're actually doing pretty solid damage here, and we haven't even seen ultimate yet, but we're gonna waste some ultimates. Clearly we just wasted some ultimates there, but we're getting some solid AoE damage from the exclusive. She's actually doing really good damage here. But you know, when you could bring a champ like Sigrid in and almost do a similar, you know, amount of damage, or you're able to actually kill the enemy, Sigrid's not going to do that by herself right there. But yeah, Sigrid, you have other champions that are coming in, they are doing this, so we actually get the debuff there, and they're kind of just like erasing the champs here. And this is only with 2 DPS champions. We have 2 tanks in here. That is because we're going to be using tanks for the other dungeons. And as you can see, the exclusive champ just like plowing away, actually absolutely destroying Goblin here. So doing 50% of our damage, and it's actually going to be all clear a lot faster than I anticipated, which, yeah, not bad. A minute 7, not terrible at all. I would be happy. That's if you get all of these champs and get them scrolled up, and you know, level up your psyche core enough for radiance, which is a very strong elemental affinity already. So let's look at like the Grave of Venom stage 9. Let's see how they do here. I'm not gonna put any actually, yeah, we're not gonna do any skill timing here, and let's just run it and let's see, you know, how fast they can do stage 9. This is season 3. You have Garius tanking, of course, because if you're gonna do Radiance, might as well. And let's just see like how much damage the exclusive is gonna do here. So I see like 23k. It's like okay, but it should be in the blaze state now. So we'll see how much damage. And the issue with this team is there's no like, we only have one debuffer, so we don't have 2 debuffs. So this team is not going to do great because we don't have any other debuffs. So the boss is going to change target whenever he wants. So not the greatest showcase here, but we may still be able to actually complete this here as long as everybody stays at full health. And right now this guy is actually doing more damage than the exclusive, but once we start to target the boss, let's see, I'm pretty sure she will yeah, she just overtook him. So exclusive is doing some solid damage here. This is, you know, over a minute here to clear this. It's not terrible, but man, you got Ice Blast teams coming in doing like crazy damage. Other teams coming in, you know, doing 30-second runs. I feel like it takes a bit of setup for the aura champs to go. You have this blaze state that you have to wait on. You have to, you know, obviously wait on this aura energy, which would be the same as like waiting on ultimate energy to charge, but waiting on the blaze state to get like the most out of them. We have like similar mechanics in the game where you want to, you know, wait till a champion gets a certain amount of stacks of something in order to deal more damage. Is, you know, it's not 100% new, but I feel like some other champs are just more easily enabled, potentially. I could be wrong. Here we are in the Grave of Curse. And what stage is this? Is this stage 9? I don't know that this team is going to be able to do stage 9 like at all. So let's look at stage 8, see how fast they could clear stage 8, I guess. If anybody cares about stage 8, I'm sure most people want to see how they could do on stage 9. But basically, you know, we don't have anybody still in the buffs in here that the boss has. We don't actually have like a shield champ, but we have Garius providing a shield for us with the staff. So that is going to be the only thing keeping this team alive. I doubt it keeps the team alive on stage 9 like at all. So they're gonna be able to clear this. This is stage 8 though. You could bring some rares in on stage 8 and have a similar effect. Now that was a pretty big smack from the exclusive. I would say that's, you know, some decent damage, right? But this is stage 8. It's not even stage 9. So they're okay, right? They're doing okay damage, but I don't think that it's anything that can't be achieved with champions already in the game. Now, as far as like the Grave of Rock goes, I don't know that this team could do Grave of Rock at all. We do have a cleanser, and we do have block debuffs. Let's actually see. I think I ran it actually. Maybe I'm just not remembering. Okay, we do have debuff immunity. We have debuff immunity. What's the skill timing on this? Yes, it does. It should work. We have debuff immunity. I think this was set for something else. I'm gonna just run it and see. But I feel like this was set for something else. But let's clearly it was set for something else. I don't know that that skill time and setup works. It might work. Let's see. Because right now we're getting no heals. We got somebody dead already. Alright, there's the cleanse. The exclusive is not dead. The pseudo damage dealer exclusive is dead. So for now we should be pretty good. This team should actually beat the boss, because we won't have to worry about the debuffs too much. Especially like as long as you can get past the healing prohibition, you're pretty much good. Okay, so some decent smacks from the exclusive. Decent, not bad, not bad. Let's see how much damage we can get here. So it is that the hold on, let me click on information real quick. So blaze state stacks 70 stacks of blaze, and I guess once it hits 0 you're out of the blaze state. So yeah, they can do Grave of Rot 9. Is it fast? Not really. There's no healing prohibition stopping the boss from healing. The boss is not gonna heal a ton because obviously it's Garius. He has increased defense. You can have a shield on during consumption. That's gonna slow down the damage as well. But this is like what, a minute and a half run here. So not terrible actually. Pretty sure you can have a much faster run as well with a better setup than I have. So minute and a half run, not terrible. So they can do some okay damage, right? Granted, we had to put them in some ridiculous gear to make this happen. I think the champions are okay. I think they're okay, right? Do I think they possibly need a bit of a rework to, you know, kind of stack up to Shadow or Corrosion? Yes, right? But there has to be balance in games, right? Everything can't be OP. But it is, you know, it's a newer mechanic. I'm sure over time they will maybe develop this more. Maybe think of some other ways to enable these champs. But we'll see. Right now I like it. I like that they're adding new damage types to the game. I would be interested to see if they will add any more elemental affinities to the game, because that would make things a bit more interesting as well. But that's going to be all for this one though, guys. Let me know your thoughts on these aura champs or the new damage types in general. You can download the game using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment if you would like to try it out. But yeah, thank you for your support as always. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and until next time guys, be good and be well.